Team USA dominant today in basketball.
USA. USA. I saw the Serbians came back from 24 down.
The Serbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it's getting good. So we're down to the semis in men's hoops. We've got USA over Brazil, 122-87 today. Devin Booker at 18. Notably, Kevin Durant, who scored 11, he had a dunk at some point that put him over the top as the all-time Olympics leading scorer, men or women, in U.S. history.
Yep. And it was nice, too, because Embiid was just getting railed recently by all the media guys, and he was their leading scorer in the first half. He had a nice game.
Yeah, I mean, they're like the 8th, 9th, and 10th scorers on that team are Anthony Davis, Steph Curry, and Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could be any one guy at any moment, depending on the matchup.
I just love how, like, Embiid, like, because of what's happening in the Olympics, like, Colin today was going on about how Embiid isn't Embiid isn't trustworthy in the NBA. I'm like, what?
Well, anyway, they won. They will now face Serbia, who came back from 24 down to beat Australia in overtime.
Yeah, the Serbs were getting their ass handed to them. I guess, too, I haven't watched a lot of Serbian basketball, but I was listening to people.
You haven't?
I have not.
Get on board, man.
Outside of when they played the U.S., I could care less. But I was listening to people that were actually watching it, and they said that the Serbian basketball team doesn't run through Jokic. He's not the focal point of their offense.
Really?
And I say, excuse me? I guess Serbia has a system that they run, and they will not deviate it for anyone, including the best basketball player in the world. And I thought to myself, like, what? In some ways, that's impressive, but in other, like, can you imagine the stubborn coach?
In other ways, it's foolhardy. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, someone's like, hey, coach, we have the best player in the world. Not in Serbia. We have the best player in the world. It's like, hey, we run our system.
I know what we usually do, coach, but we're playing the U.S. of effing A. We need to do something a little bit different for this one.
We might want to throw the ball to that guy, the MVP in the middle. And coach is like, yeah, whatever. We're just running our sets, and if he gets the ball, he gets the ball. But I guess they don't try to look for him.
That's very European basketball, though.
That is.
Isn't it? It's kind of part of why they're good.
I just was blown away by that. I understand that, yes, I guess that's why they're good, even though they have lesser talent as they run great systems. But can you make an exception when you've, like, you know?
Well, like the triangle offense could focus on a couple people. Like you could still have a system that includes everybody but makes one person more significant.
Yeah, well,
you would think.
Apparently not in Serbia. It's a team game. It's not about one person.
So the next game, so they beat Brazil today. They hammered them.
Yeah.
We're looking pretty good, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So on to Serbia. That game will be Thursday.
And the Frenchies
at noon.
Big upset. The Frenchies knocked off the Canadians.
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see that was an upset, but I guess you had Jamal Murray out there for Canada.
Well, they said Canada and Serbia were the two other teams that people thought might actually give us a run for their money.
I don't know. I guess just with the draft and Wemby, I was thinking that France was this next best team, but it's not. It's Canada because
they got Dort, they got SGA.
Yeah, SGA was an MVP candidate this year.
They got Dylan Brooks. I mean,
but they lost. France beat them. Wemby beat them, and so France plays Germany.
I know nothing about the Germans.
The Wagner brothers are on that team, as is Dennis Schroeder.
How crazy it too that so France beat Canada today in a big upset, and Wemby had 7 points.
Yeah, he was terrible offensively. He was like 2 of 10.
Yeah, 2 of 10, 0 of 6 behind the arc for 7 points, and they won.
Why is he jacking up 6 threes in a game?
I don't know.
What does he think he is? 7'7".
Yeah, figure it out.
Is the number 1 draft pick guy on that team?
The number 1 draft guy.
Yeah. Didn't they? Aren't they?
Oh no, I don't think either one of those. Ricochet and Sarr.
Neither one.
They're not on the team.
No, that's the other weird part.
Nick Batum's on the team.
Yeah, Nick Batum's on the team,
but Fournier is, I think.
That's a weird thing in that the 2 top picks in the draft were both French, and neither one of them is on the French team.
I have a hard time believing that the USA is not going to win this.
Oh gosh, no.
But
we've been trying to make this something that it's not for like a month.
The international teams, they've closed the gap, and it will. If France wins, it will be on their home soil.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that matters.
No, it doesn't, dude. We are kicking the living hell out of people.
It's over.
I love that we're like a bunch of douchey media members are trying to start some S on the U.S. team and like question Steve Kerr and his.
Hold on, everybody.
They're beating everyone by like 30 points.
Do we have a spread on the Serbia game?
I'm
Whatever
sure
it
we
is,
do.
I'm
take
sure
the
Ryan,
U.S.
Ryan Buckley will have that. Well, they haven't been covering. I think they covered today, but
Well, it's because they've been putting the spread at like 30 points.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Telling you, the first half spread is the way to go because
Yeah.
no one gets the backdoor cover that way.
Like today, like I saw they were like, well, Brazil, this wasn't Brazil's best team. Cool. So their best team would have lost 122 to 94 instead.
USA favored by 17 over Serbia.
What's the France-Germany line?
Germany by 5.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Okay.
So Germany's supposed to be good?
Interesting.
Better than France, I guess.
Well, we can take them out.
I didn't know the crowds could play some hoop.
We took them out in women's soccer today. Did you see that?
I did. Suck it, Germany.
That's right. USA! USA! Dude. That was
the ball, you little bitch.
That was a great game. Sophia Smith scoring in extra time.
Mhm.
1-0. We're into the final.
Yes.
She's
now
a
we-
boss.
We play I read this. Brazil. It's Brazil.
I think that's right.
I think we play Brazil
Okay.
on Saturday for the Gold.
And we are the favorites.
Yeah, with Trinity and
we're-
Sophia.
Well, we are. We're the powerhouse of
Yeah.
international soccer, not on the men's side.
Yeah.
The
But
men's
on the
side,
women's side,
we
we
can't
are.
beat Tallahassee JUCO, but with our gals, we kick ass and we take names.
Why do you think that is? Why are we so good at women's soccer and not men's?
Well, again, I think a lot of this goes back to we invested in it before a lot of other places. Like the Women's World Cup's only been around for not that long. A lot of other places in the world, I don't know if you know this about them, not big on women's rights
What?
and giving women a chance to play.
Well, is it also possible that it's, that
and it's our best athletes.
well, that male athletes have chased more lucrative sport professions,
Yes.
but there haven't necessarily been those options until basketball recently for women?
Well, yes, like our best athletes, and I'm not trying to say, I hate the argument, well, if we took our best athletes, we'd be great. I don't know if we would or not. But our best athletes do not play soccer. Period. End of story. Not even close. And a lot of our best female athletes do. But if you were Sophia Smith and you're an MVP and you are an absolute badass in your sport, but you were a male version of that growing up and you were a freak athlete, you're probably not playing soccer. You're just not. Like, it's hard for little kids. Like, we don't have the academies. Like, I remember seeing the story of Messi. Dude, they plucked him out of Argentina when he was like 9. They went down, like they did an international scouting program for Barcelona, and they went and moved his whole family there when he was like 9 years old. We don't do that in our country. So we're so far behind the 8 ball when it comes to soccer. But with our gals, we're not. Our investment is on par or better than the rest of the world.
Pretty exciting. Team USA news today.
That's right.
Women's soccer, men's basketball.
I'd like to buy my U.S. soccer jersey, but I'm still suffering from my Megan Rapinoe Smedium thing. So maybe I'll just get like a scarf.
All right, we got to go. You know what's next?
Megan Rapinoe.
Oh, I love our.
Finally, but not last, winner of the Golden Boot, the tournament's top scorer and the Golden Ball, the best player, Megan Rapinoe.
The Golden Ball.
I do get caught up in a little patriotic pride watching the Olympics.
That's
I'm not
great,
I'm not
dude.
the biggest rah-rah guy, but I get welled up. I get
Well,
welled up with American
As
pride.
Americans, we always like it when we win, and we're dominating this year.
Yeah.
Overall medal count, we're kicking some serious international
Hells
ass.
Yeah.
But then when we struggle, and we have had those,
Yeah, we do that. We don't care.
then we're like, who cares? Olympics are over. Who cares? That's what we do here.
Well, and it's easier for me to care about the Summer Olympics because I know that we have that. Like we have good track programs. Dude, we don't bobsled. If you grew up in the U.S. and you're like, hey, I want to bob, where do you even go in bobsled? You don't.
Salt Lake, Vermont.
I don't know.
They still, I think, have the bobsledding set up in Salt Lake.
Do they?
Yeah.
So if you're a young plucky rich kid from Salt Lake that wants to bobsled, you can
think
go
you
do
could.
that.
I think
Or
you could.
luge. Well, the Mondo guy, the Swedish pole vaulter, he's not Swedish. He's American.
Is that right?
He was born in
He was-
Louisiana. He went to LSU.
So his parents are.
No, his mom. So I guess the deal is, so his dad's just a dude. He's an American. The mom was Swedish. He was born in Lafayette, Louisiana. He went to LSU, and then I was reading today the track coach from Sweden called over and was like, "Hey, we want you to come be on Team Sweden," and he was like, "No, I don't think so." And they were like, Well, what if we make your dad one of the coaches and we bypass a lot of the stupid regulations as far as like pay and like cut through a lot of the red tape? And he was like, son of a bitch, I'm in. He is not sweet. The only thing Swedish about him is his mom is Swedish. But that dude is American through and through, and yet he's competing for Sweden. And then the other one too is when you win a gold medal in pole vault in Sweden, that dude is going to be swimming in money and trim.
Well,
and in the U.S., you wouldn't.
They already said he's worth $4 million.
Yes, and that wouldn't be the
Mondo
case.
Duplantis.
And that would not be the case in the United States. So some people are all butthurt saying that they're angry that he's not competing for the U.S. And basically his family's like,
Right in the butt.
we would just be another dude in the U.S., but in Sweden, we'll be national heroes.